Well, look who finally decided to show themselves. We've had to wait 10 seconds for you. I guess now we can deliver the tech news as long as there aren't any other delays. Wait a second, where's Booty-Mangler 72? Booty-Mangler! Windows 11 Pro's on by default encryption could be slowing down your SSD speed by as much as 45%, according to tests performed by Tom's Hardware. Does my PC not recognize the flames I drew on the boot drive? Tom's Hardware tested a Samsung 990 Pro using Windows software BitLocker encryption, its hardware BitLocker encryption, and no encryption at all. Nothing at all. While software encryption caused the frightening performance drop, it turns out that hardware encryption may be even faster than no encryption at all. This would be terrific news if it weren't for Windows. In 2019, Microsoft decided to change Windows so that software encryption would be the default rather than hardware encryption. What makes this worse is that Windows 11 Pro force enables this encryption without providing a clear opt-out option. And worst of all, if you want to switch to hardware encryption, even if you don't have software BitLocker enabled, you have to reinstall Windows if you have the OS running on that SSD. Because how dare you try and make your machine more functional without penalty? If you feel your computer has slowed down, there's a blog post on how to get hardware encryption working on your PC in our news sources. We knew it was a good tutorial because it's not from Microsoft support. Phone manufacturers have been remotely disabling Mexican customers' cell phones. This is real. As in many countries, a large percentage of Mexicans buy their phones on the gray market through sites like Amazon and AliExpress. This means they're getting better deals by buying phones that are meant for release in other markets, but that would still most likely be compatible with Mexico's cellular infrastructure. But some phone companies don't like this. In July of this year, Motorola announced all phones imported and activated in Mexico after that month would be subject to remote disability, making the phone completely useless except for emergency calls. Fortunately, Samsung disagreed with Motorola's tactics, but unfortunately, it was because they didn't think Motorola went far enough. Samsung started disabling all gray market phones retroactively under the pretense that the phones weren't properly certified by the Mexican government. However, the government never asked Samsung to do this, and in fact told manufacturers very strongly to stop disabling phones. But come on, they offered everyone a 30% off coupon for the second phone customers were being forced to buy. What more does the Mexican government want? Not forcibly removing citizens' access to their own data and or ability to text their loved ones? Dios mío.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Speaking of phones, it turns out all those fancy AI tasks the Pixel 8 Pro can do aren't actually performed by the phone. In his review for the Pixel 8 Pro, Mr. Who's the Boss revealed that the phone's AI features like AI wallpaper making and the magic eraser for photos are not accomplished with the phone's Google-designed processor. The device needs a persistent internet connection so the phone can offload those tasks to Google servers. Maybe someone should have informed Google VP of Product Management, Monica Gupta, before she wrote a blog post saying things like, the Tensor G3 chip continues to push the boundaries of on-device machine learning, and how the chip's upgraded subsystems are paving the way for on-device generative AI. With specific regard to using Magic Editor on photos or AI generating wallpapers, I guess on-device generative AI means on-device Wi-Fi so your phone can connect to an AI server.
They never said which device.
And that sounds way less special. Maybe that's why Google decided to block reviewers from downloading benchmarks to test the new Tensor chip. They didn't want anyone to find out their AI magic wasn't real. Then the reviewers would start asking questions about the AI tooth fairy. Childhood ruined. Now it's time for the Quick Bits, brought to you by Magic Spoon. They've recently launched their new grain-free Treats cereal snacks, which have 11 grams of protein, 1 to 2 grams of net carbs, which is actually sick if you're keto, and only 1 gram of sugar per serving. These crispy snacks currently come in 2 delectable flavors, marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Snap, crackle, and pop your way to the link below and use code Linus for $5 off a Treats combo pack. Quick Bits are a sacred tradition going back to some point in the past when a significant event happened. I don't know, man, I'm just reading this off the prompt. I don't know what the event was. Twitch is expanding its simulcasting guidelines to allow creators to live stream anywhere on the web simultaneously, following an unsuccessful ban on simulcasting that may or may not have contributed to top talent leaving the service in droves. There are still a few limitations, like the version of a stream hosted on Twitch should be at least equivalent in quality of experience, and streamers shouldn't share links to their Twitch audience directing them to watch other platforms midstream. Twitch also announced that they will be adding doxing and swatting to their list of punishable off-platform conduct, having concluded that criminal harassment is wrong, very wrong.
You mean I can't stick the cops on Butt Nugget 65?
Get the door, it's Domino's. Really, it is. Microsoft Excel has now finally created a user setting to turn off its automatic date conversion feature for dates, both as a quality of life measure and to prevent Excel from accidentally destroying peer-reviewed scientific data. You see, genes tend to have long, stupid names like differentiated embryonic chrondocyte express gene 1, which scientists, who are only human, abbreviated as DIS1, which Excel, who's only a computer program, interpreted as December 1st and automatically reformatted. A 2016 study found that out of over 3,500 published papers, around a fifth had errors introduced by Excel. Scientists actually reworked their entire system for abbreviating genes back in 2020 when, admittedly, they had a lot more free time on their hands. Amazon has launched a trial for its new workforce of bipedal humanoid robots developed by Agility Robotics, which are definitely not intended to replace Amazon's current human workforce with their weak flesh and limited bladder capacity with something superior. No, the primary benefit of the new bots is their ability to crouch, grasp, and lift objects, and navigate warehouses designed for feeble human workers. One union commented that Amazon has been treating their workers like robots for years, though hopefully we won't start finding bottles of used motor oil along the sides of the highway.
It's a matter of time before the robots unionize.
And the Windows Phone is many things, but would you have guessed that it's the unlikely hero to save us from YouTube's new ad block blocking? Twitter user EndermanCH discovered that if you change your user agent, the HTTP header that identifies what device, browser version, and OS you're using a user agent switcher to Windows Phone, it'll disable ads. It's like the reverse of the movie Weekend at Bernie's. Instead of convincing a party that a corpse is a living person, you're convincing the world's largest video hosting platform that your computer is running a dead OS. And Tinder's new Matchmaker feature allows you to get outside opinions on potential matches. Users can invite loved ones and friends, with or without their own profile, to view and recommend potential matches on the platform. Once the Matchmaker session expires, you'll be able to see which profiles were recommended while still getting final say yourself over which direction you swipe. What a great idea. I mean, who doesn't want their mom to help them choose the one they won't call tomorrow? Watch out, screenshots. Tinder's coming for you.
You're right, Dad. He does look like a boy.
But we'll call you on Wednesday when we have more tech news to share, and who knows, maybe we'll form a deep and lasting emotional connection that we can explore over future episodes.